Guess who's gonna start on time? Guess who's gonna start on time? What's good, y'all? Let me get these posts out real quick, and I will be with you shortly. But until then, let me know how y'all been doing. Let me know how y'all been doing. Sorry, there's no background music today, but yeah. I have not watched Mario, unfortunately. But if you have, let me know. How is it? The estate sale, yes. We'll obviously we're gonna talk about that, but yeah. How is the long-awaited, long-anticipated Mario movie? If you know our OTP, you know that we are very pro Nintendo here. So yeah, Pratt is a good Mario. Wow, very surprising. Also very happy to hear it. I know he gets a lot of flack, but I think he's an all right. He's just a guy, you know. He's just a dude, and I appreciate that. All right, it's five. We're running on time today. What can I say? I know, kind of unique. Oh, hold on. Okay, let me mute myself so I don't hear myself. I already hear enough of that. But yeah, hold on. Okay. And don't end the stream. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. Oh yeah, I got a real pretty little thing in DC for me. Hey, now tell me, do you wanna get freaky? Yeah. I think that's how all streams should start, is with a song. How's it going, y'all? Obviously, we've been talking for the last 5 minutes, but here I am. As you can see, I feel like my sweater is like pixelating the screen here. Um, yeah. Anyways, I've been doing all right, guys. Sorry that obviously, if you guys are just tuning in, I'm Cesco, one half of the OurThoughts podcast. My podcast mate isn't here with me today, but I'm here, and hopefully, I'm enough for you. That's the that's a question that I always ask myself and a lot of people in my life. Anyways, um, yeah. So Mario movie, pretty good apparently. Okay, that might be worth checking out. I haven't even checked out John Wick 4, which I was super excited to check out. I'm trying to see what was the last movie I watched in theaters. It was Creed 3. Creed 3, which obviously might not be doing so hot in the box office due to recent developments, but great movie. My God, yeah, my brother and we checked out that movie. We're big Rocky Creed fans, and my God, like seeing Michael B. Jordan, seeing Jonathan Majors go at it. Very a lot was made about the anime style influences throughout the film, and nah, man, I think the action was like super well done, super like, and not just like the anime influence for the actions. There's one particular scene, if you know what I'm talking about, basically like the second to last round, where everything kind of zones out. Uh, yeah, you know the scene, if you know what I mean. That scene was incredible, but also like the anime influence in terms of like the relationships. I definitely got like a big little, if my Dragon Ball Z fans out there, a little Goku Vegeta vibe, which was really nice. Um, but yeah, no, really cool movie. Really enjoyed it. 9 out of 10. I would probably go there as well. Honestly, I loved it. It was like it's probably a 10 out of 10 for me personally, just because like I love that shit. But yeah, no, and made me rewatch like a lot of the Rocky movies. Like I rewatched Rocky One. I rewatched Rocky Balboa, Rocky Six, and Creed One. So I'm definitely in a big little Rocky mood. But let's see what else has happened in the last couple weeks. We had the OTP Awards, which we'll get to in a second. Come on now, I got to start with a couple plugs. So like I mentioned, we got the OTP Awards. I'll go ahead and link it in the chat. Probably our best one, also our most chaotic one. Um, I don't really know what else there is to say about it. Other than, we'll obviously go into the results in a bit. But also, guys, moment of silence, real quick. Claps in the chat for what I think is the best deep dive we've done. Obviously, After Hours deep dive got a lot of traction thanks to the Weeknd posting it. Dawn FM explained, definitely a personal favorite of mine. The longest deep dive I think we've done. But this one that we just posted was incredible. I think I put a lot of work into it, and I think it was worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, our DJ Khaled deep dive on God Did. It gets a lot of flack. And it was nominated for a Grammy, but the general public seems to give it a lot of flack. But I think there was a lot of gems to be found in that album. So please go ahead, check that out. Yeah. And you're definitely gonna want to watch it till the end. There's the last record really kind of shakes up the whole album. So I would definitely recommend, once you're done checking out the stream, go ahead and check out, or if you're watching this back, which I would definitely recommend, go check out that deep dive again in the chat. DJ Khaled deep dive. What else we got? What else can I plug? Division deep dive. Let's plug that. Why not? I know that y'all love the explained stuff that we do. Yeah, this is another one of those where, Division deep dive, we go into, I don't think we had a stream where we discussed this, but yeah, Division's Working on My Karma is one of the greatest albums, and in my opinion, one of the two greatest R&B albums of 2022, and obviously one of their biggest singles from there, If I Get Caught, had a lot of controversy behind it. There was a whole little rollout on that for that record, so go check that deep dive out to hear like the whole spiel, and just to hear more of my voice, because I know y'all enjoy that. Anyways, yeah, hold on, Jose. Let's see who else do we got in here. Jose. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that feature. Hold on, you can do reactions. Interesting. Okay, not in the chat, but yeah, okay. That'll be something that I will use. Let's see. Curry, what's up, my boy? How are you? Hope you've been doing well. Joshua Fry, Chip Fan, what's good? TJ, D Mind, yeah. We got the squad in here today. So where do we want to start? Do we want to go straight into the OTP? Let's do that. Let's go into the OTP Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, this past last week? No, 2 weeks ago. Damn. It's been a long ass couple weeks. We had the OTP Awards, and I would love to kind of go through some of the results with you guys now that I'm of sober mind and body and spirit. I can finally look at our winners, look at your guys' reactions, because I saw some of the chat while we were recording, obviously, but it was all kind of a blur, and if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, let's go ahead and go through some of these results. Let me know if you guys can see it. Okay, that's just like a little outline for me, but let's go into the results. So yeah, let me pull up the stream real quick on my phone so I could see what y'all are saying. That would help. But yeah, just let me know, what are your overall thoughts on the awards? Were there any upsets? Just go ahead and bring them up, and we'll go over them. Go over them like a family. Let's see. Were OTP Awards were interesting to say the least. Yeah, I don't blame you. It was definitely very interesting. I don't remember a lot of it. I think Matt, there was a mention of Hitler, I think, which went around. So no, I think it was definitely a wild time. So no, let's go through some of the results. And you guys can stop me whenever there's like a category you guys want to discuss. So, best feature on a track, we went with "We Cry Together," Taylor Page. Just one of the most like off center, off kilter, like ear catching features I think ever. Especially on a Kendrick Lamar record. Like basically what that record was you, like the energy of you, very like sporadic and chaotic and angry and yeah, didn't like she was able to kind of hang it with Kendrick, so didn't disappoint at all. Do you mind? Let me know what was disappointing about the awards. I'd love to know. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Best feature run, 21 Savage. I don't think that's debatable. This man literally went on an Artist of the Year caliber run. He didn't get nominated, but just off of features, able to do what he does. You know, I don't know if you guys are able to see that, but I think so. I hope so. Um, Best Sad Boy Girl record, Less Than Zero. I don't think we're gonna get any debates about that. Glimpse of Us actually was probably like looking back at it like could have been a potential choice, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like what Less Than Zero was able to do was be a sad boy girl record while also being upbeat, super cathartic, very therapeutic, very much a release. And yeah, I was just kind of it's a very confusing song in like the best possible way. So let's go with that. GID, up and coming artist. Again, I said my whole spiel about that. Blue Ball of the Year went to The Weeknd for teasing the Less Than Zero music video. Again, I don't think I'm gonna get a lot of debate about this. This man posted a little selfie with it, and yet here we are with no music video to this day, and the era is like apparently over. So yeah, best hook chorus. Now this is a category that I feel like I take a lot of pride in because it's kind of the hook and chorus is kind of like a very defining factor of a record, and it's literally the part that is made for you to sing along to and for you to remember. It's called the hook. Like it's supposed to grab your attention. So, Out of Time, Cuff It, Creepin', Nonchalant, Bad Habit, Forget Me, Louis Capaldi, System M, Walkin', like all records that I think if you play it, they'll just like they just grab your attention. So no, I think. But with that being said, I don't think Bad Habit is debatable as the best hook and chorus of the year. I wish I knew that song has like 3 different hooks. The I wish I knew you wanted me. I wish I knew. I bite my tongue. That's a bad habit. That part. And a part that let's see. What was the other part? Just pretty much the whole song is memorable, but obviously the hook is just kind of defined this year. But no. So let me know what you guys think about that. Out of Time, all that stuff. Kay says the 5-minute seafood versus beef debate had me dead. Hey man, look. So yeah, in case you guys didn't watch it, the question posed that I posed to the group, Matt and Maya, was, hey, between beef, pork, and seafood, which one of the 3 would you keep, and you have to sacrifice the other 2? Like you can't eat those other 2 ever again. And obviously beef, you get steak, you get prime rib, I don't know, just like whatever, hamburgers, all that stuff. Pork, you get a lot of very unhealthy stuff, lechon, pork rinds, bacon. And then seafood, you get like everything with seafood. You get crab, fish, lobster, sushi, all that stuff. And no, I didn't I think I went with, because the thing is, I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream before, but I'm actually allergic to I'm allergic to fish, but not shellfish, if that makes sense. So, fish being like anything with gills, salmon, yellowtail, what else, cod, all that stuff. I'm allergic to Call of Duty, yeah. And but shellfish like shrimp, lobster, all that stuff I can eat, which is very confusing, I know. But that being said, I'm like, damn, would I sacrifice seafood? Like all the stuff you get, poke. Um, it's a tough choice. Let me see. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Wor- Worst part is you didn't say, do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? Well, do you like the way I flick my tongue or not? There you go. I was disappointed with DJ Khaled album in the awards. DJ, am I seeing that correctly? DJ Khaled's records. You know what? I just feel like all he does is win anyways. So if he were to come in, he would just win every single award. So, you know, just for the good of everybody else, we wanted to go ahead and assign everyone, give some everyone else chances to win, as he is, of course, the daddy, the sponsor of this podcast. So it would be like a conflict of interest, if you will. But yeah. Let's see, what else are y'all saying? Still waiting for the lessons here of music. But anyways, regardless. But I digest. Biggest L award, as you can see here. I don't know if y'all can see. Let me make it bigger. Biggest L award, which we've rebranded from the Nicki Minaj award to the Kanye West award, and I think it was well deserved. But what was the funniest part about it was, obviously we gave Kanye West the biggest L award because of just everything he's done, the anti-Semitism, the losing however many billions of dollars in his net worth, due to like a lot of the shit he's done. And then literally that night, the night that he accepts the Kanye West award, he makes that viral social media post about, oh, just watch 21 Jump Street, and I like Jewish people now. So shout out to Jonah Hill for just like redeeming, I guess in Kanye's eyes, redeeming Jewish people. I don't know, for making them seem fun. I don't know. So shout out to, no shout out to Kanye actually. I'm sure he's had enough shout outs. Let's see, line of the year. Um, Kind of we try to get the lines that we feel like define this past year, I guess 2022. So the four nominees, well, the three original nominees were, you have to unwind your mind and dance until you find that divine boogaloo, which is just so poetic, so beautiful, pushes, um, like it's a line that I think reflects the aspect of all of us in this past year, trying to be better, trying to figure ourselves out, trying to find happiness, after the last 2 years of just kind of like being held in hiding. And then the next nominee, pineapple juice. I give her that sweet, sweet semen. Sorry, that sweet, sweet, sweet semen. There's three sweets in there. And that's Jack Harlow's First Class. Yeah, I don't think there's anything to be said there. That's another aspect of 2022, I feel like. And the next nominee, original nominee, was, You Thought I Was Feeling You, Ice Spice Munch. And yeah, come on now. If y'all, I'm sure you guys just completed the line in your head. So don't even worry about it, about me finishing that. But anyways, the winner on a write-in category. I don't think we've ever had like someone who didn't get nominated and won the award. But for the first time in OTP Awards history, the line of the year went to, as you can see here, 21. Won't you do something for me? Can you talk to the ops next for me? Obviously off of Rich Flex, 21 Savage, Drake. Yeah, I don't think that's debatable. So let me just put it like that. What's up, Darren? What's up? Most anticipated album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Look, There's a lot of albums on here that, uh, just in general, were super well anticipated. You know, SOS SZA, I think Matt said was his most anticipated album. Renaissance Beyonce, obviously the Beehive. Gemini Rights, Steve Lacy, Funkwave Bounces Volume 2, definitely an album that Matt and I were both, super, super, super excited for. Didn't end up living to the hype. But Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, I think, just had a different um, expectation for it compared to the rest of these albums. Like, just knowing the artist that Kendrick is, Damn, To Pimp a Butterfly, obviously. Uh, his albums are like expected to like change the world, and I think that kind of fed into the anticipation that went into that album. But anyways, comeback artist of the year, SZA. I mean, I feel like that's a fairly, you know, straightforward win. Beyonce, I think, could have won that award for sure. Most disappointing album, Funkway Bounces Volume 2. Like I mentioned, we were super excited. Was so like just came and went, which is obviously, it's not the worst thing. It's not trash. It's not terrible. Like say, Come Home the Kids Miss You, or Wasteland, Brent Faiyaz. I feel like for me personally, it was a cool vibe, but it didn't like give me the oomph that I really wanted Brent to have at that point. But Funk Wave Bounces Volume 2 was so hype. So excited. I was so excited for it. And it was just kind of, it was kind of whatever. So Funk Wave Bounces Volume 2, Metro Boomin Producer of the Year, music video of the year, Cash In, Cash Out. If you guys watch it, you guys will know what I'm talking about. Best indie. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting. We get into the albums of the year winners. We got Gemini Rights, Steve Lacy as indie alternative. Now, and let's go ahead and get into the next category as well, just because they go hand in hand. Gemini Rights also won Best R&B Album of the Year, and I think Matt and I were discussing. We were really discussing this, man, because we were like, hey, like, Working on My Karma was incredible, took us back to, if you, again, go ahead and watch our deep dive on If I Get Caught, the Rollout Explained, and it kind of goes into a deep dive on the album itself. You will know that the album was very much like what Daniel of the Vision said was he wanted it to have the sound of like traditional 2000s, singing in the tank top in the rain, begging outside her door type vibe, like Usher, Jodeci, all that stuff. But then also have the conversation and kind of mannerisms of today's R&B, and then you also get SOS SZA, Capri Songs, FKA Twigs was a pretty solid album. Lucky Day, Candy Drip. But I think the discussion we wanted to have with this one was that R&B is more than just that sound, that sound that we know of as R&B, like Usher, all that stuff. R&B is like, and there's like a great podcast, Rap Caviar podcast, hosted by Brandon Jinx. Super cool. They had a podcast with Lucky Day, Our Thoughts Award nominee, and who was it? LMA. LMA, Boot Up, her recent album, Not a Love Song. It's great. But they're discussing how R&B is like the only genre that everyone is kind of like, just stay in that lane, just stay stagnant. Like rap is always changing, pop is always changing. Country, you could argue, is like always around the same area. Like it never kind of reaches, like its wingspans never really like expand beyond whatever it is. But R&B is like, it's like encouraged, like stay in that lane, stay in that, and anything that's different, people will argue that it isn't R&B, which is kind of interesting, because I do think that Gemini Rights, Steve Lacy is absolutely an R&B album. So with that being said, I think the reason it won Best Indie Alternative and Best R&B was because it kind of pushed the boundaries in both respects. And Stevie Lacy, man, did what he had to do. I'm we were discussing like this year. Well, I guess just like this past year and what this Our Thoughts Awards. Like the narrative of it, like every Grammy, it's always like, oh, or for example, this past Oscars, it's like Everything Everywhere All at Once, swept all that stuff. 2020 Our Thoughts Awards, The Weeknd swept that. 2021, I forget. I think Silk Sonic maybe swept or like took a lot of the big awards. And obviously Steve Lacy didn't really win album of the year, didn't win artist of the year, but I feel like he kind of this year was like the year of Steve Lacy, I think, for sure, and I think that reflects in a lot of the awards. Best hook and chorus, R&B album, best indie alternative, and I think it was right up there. It was the top two for record of the year. With that being said, rap album of the year, yo. This category was crazy because, as you can see, it's freaking 12 albums. We've never done that. I think that's the most nominees we've ever had for a category. And more Black Superheroes, West Side Boogie, one of my favorite albums. Still working on a deep dive for that album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, Kendrick Lamar, Soul Sold Separately, Freddie Gibbs, Forever Story, JID, Melt My Eyes to Your Future, Learn to Swim, Red Veil, Cheat Codes, Danger Mouse, Black Thought. Matt gives that the highest of praises, and I still haven't checked it out, but let me know if y'all agree. No Thank You, Little Sims. Little Sims is incredible. Probably one of my 5 favorite rappers up in the game right now. 2000s, Joey Badass. Ramona Park, Broke My Heart, Vince Staples. I have that on vinyl. I play it all the time. It's just so good. It's Almost Dry, Pusha T, and God Don't Make Mistakes, Conway the Machine. And we ended up going with The Forever Story by JID because if we're talking about rapping, the ability of rapping and also how you're able to use rapping in it's all, to create records. Like, I think JID was the most like punctual, that means you're on time, potent version of that. And like, in my opinion, like, this was his like Good Kid Mad City, where it just like propelled him to a new like status of hip-hop. So rap album of the year, JID. And also we kind of justified it as the reason he won up and coming artist was because he put out the best rap album of the year. Even though, like I said, a lot of these are great. Mr. Morale, obviously, my personal favorite, my personal 2 favorites were probably More Black Superheroes and Ramona Park, Broke My Heart. And then Soul Sold Separately. I don't know if you guys really like gave that much of a listen, but my God, like that album is like, to me, it's like what I love about Kissland, where it's like it's world building, it's so niche, and every time you listen to it, you find like a new little thing that you wanna experience again, and you just keep giving it chances. You keep wanting to listen back to it. So no, Freddie Gibbs, Soul Sold Separately, incredible album. And then the big 3 guys, the big 3 categories. I recall Curry, my boy Curry, was not feeling this category. I'm excited to see what y'all think about it. Artist of the year. Artist of the year. We got nominees: SZA, The Weeknd, Kendrick, Bad Bunny, Beyonce, Steve Lacy, and the award going to Beyonce. Now, look, how I like to think of this award is album of the year is like best picture. Like, this is like the film of the year, and artist of the year to me is like the best director. Like, maybe we're not exactly grading them on the album itself, but we're grading them on like what they're able to do with that album, the conceptual kind of progression, or like the artistic progression, when you look at through their career. And if you're looking at their kind of the narrative behind each artist, SZA, it's her comeback album as well after 2017, 5 years but she's dropped like single here, single there, super successful, and then she comes out with SOS, which is great. But you know, I recall Matt saying that it just doesn't quite hit like Control does. The Weeknd, obviously, he's always gonna be, whenever he drops, he's always gonna be nominated for Artist of the Year just because he always puts in that work, always puts in that effort. But I do think that that this year was lacking a little bit with some of the rollout stuff with you know, Don FM kind of leaving a little bit to be desired. The big thing is the Less Than Zero music video. We didn't get that. Kendrick Lamar, he's probably number two in my opinion in terms of like, we got an album that really, you know, shed a lot of light on Kendrick, that changed a lot of perspectives on him. He also did a live performance tour type thing. Bad Bunny is just gonna rule the charts. He's apparently he's apparently this generation's Michael Jackson, whatever that means. Forget my video about who's the Prince of Pop. I guess the real Prince of Pop is Bad Bunny. Um, um, which is like, okay, but yeah, no, Bad Bunny, you can't deny who he is when it comes to like the charts, the hits, all that stuff. And Steve Lacy, obviously, like I said, like this year is the year of Steve Lacy in certain aspects. But I do stand by Beyonce just because there is something to be said about an artist who is as established and as like glorified as Beyonce. I mean, she has probably the most devout fan base in the Beehive. I'm like, yeah, no, like, and so you take that all into account, and then she drops an album that is so different from everything. She experiments, and not only experiments, but does it like perfectly, super well. There's no, like, when you listen to the album, there's no filler on it. There's amazing transitions. She checks all the boxes of like what you want an album to do. Again, like, brings a new sound, very empowering, you know, to black women, and pays homage to like a lot of the queer, black kind of pioneers in house music, electronic music. Does it amazingly well, respectfully. What else does she do? The visuals, the few visuals that we got were incredible. Oh, go look up the Renaissance Beyonce vinyl. Go check that out. Yeah, man, she just killed it all year. But again, you know, I I um I respect anyone's opinion. Again, if you got Kendrick, if you got The Weeknd, if you had Steve Lacy, which I think Curry had, winning, I respect that. Totally do. But yeah. Anyways, here let me check some of your comments real quick. Album of the year, Don FM is on there. Don FM is absolutely nominated. It's my personal album of the year, or favorite album. I don't, I haven't really thought about what's my personal like greatest album of the year, but yeah, D Mind Studios podcast over NFR podcast. I agree. Album of the year went to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I saw some comments saying they were surprised by this. Matthew David was the one. And I'd be curious to hear why. Because or not so much why Mr. Morale isn't, but more so why you have another album winning. I think, let me know that stuff. And yeah, for me, I think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, what that album did was like, it came at a time where I remember this moment so vividly. Was, Jack Harlow's First Class was the trend, was on and popping. You had just like a lot of like the TikTok was big. Again, Gemini Rights, definitely a contender for album of the year, probably top 3 in that category. But yeah, it was all kind of like, it was all feeling very like commercialized at that moment. And I think Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, what that did was shift it into a world where like lyricism, storytelling, concepts, all that stuff were the kind of driving force of this album. Where, I remember the biggest reaction from this album was like I'm not trying to listen to a book, but also it's like, what other genre are you able to say that much, and like literally like say as many words as you can, but also say as many, like cover as many topics, like with like Mother I Sober, Father Time, all that stuff. What other genre are you able to give that much information and storytelling than in hip hop, rap? It's one of my favorite aspects of it. And I think what Kendrick Lamar did was like bring us back to that, because I feel like we've gone to a lot of production heavy, melody heavy, hook heavy, flow centric records. But no, that's just me. Let's see. I'm Matthew David here says, one of my boys. He says, I love Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but I was definitely thinking that maybe The Weeknd, Beyonce, or even Steve Lacy would win. Yeah, okay. The Weeknd. Okay, so let's go through all the cases real quick. So Don FM, The Weeknd. I think, you know, for me personally, I think it's super well made. I know there's someone who we're looking at to have on the pod. This very much disagrees. Actually, fun fact. While Matt's here, well, not here. I'm gonna blow him up real quick, and you guys can feel free to do with it what you will. But Matt actually does not love Don FM. He doesn't like it actually. Which is actually really surprising. I did not know that until we I spent time in LA and we hung out with him, or I hung out with him, and we were all talking about all the different albums and stuff. And he actually was mentioning like, yeah, no, I did that album did not get as much play as you'd think. So, do with that what you will. I'm giving you some ammunition to use, but I will say that it was my personal album, probably most played album of the year. Had a lot of my favorite moments on records for 2022. Yeah, let's see, what else did you say? Beyonce, yeah, Renaissance. I just went over Beyonce and how amazing she did, and Steve Lacy. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Those are some bulletproof cases you got there, but I think I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Who did you all have as album of the year? Your personal album of the year doesn't have to be nominated, all that stuff. But yeah, and last but not least, People's Choice Record of the Year. The nominees were Kill Bill, Less Than Zero, Love's Train, Cuff It, Munch, Bad Habits, N95, Just Wanna Rock. And I believe the final two ended up being here. Sorry, let me bring myself back on full screen. The final two ended up being SZA's Kill Bill and Steve Lacy's Bad Habit. Sorry, I just totally blanked out. But no, man, that's I think it was a kind of a perfect matchup for the final two, for the top two. And I think that when you think about it, like Steve Lacy, Bad Habits kind of ruled the first 3/4 of the year, and then all of a sudden Kill Bill came in and just like swept up the remaining month. I think it came out December, so it kind of just like took over. Next month is fresher. So I think it was just a good matchup all around. Kill Bill won, and I'm happy to say that SZA is a Record of the Year nominee. Like, that's pretty cool. And I think the past winners were Blinding Lights. I want to say Leave the Door Open. That's something I can look up. Hold on. Leave the Door Open by Silk, the Silkiest of Sonics. Let me pull this up. But yeah, I was thinking, this is actually a fun segment that I think would be fun at some point, like where me and Matt kind of go over the previous Our Thoughts Award winners, and we kind of see like, okay, what are y'all thinking? So yeah, Leave the Door Open, Silk Sonic won last year, and then Kill Bill, SZA. So I don't know. I feel like that ended up working pretty well. Oh shit, y'all are canceling that. You know what? It's about time y'all not getting canceled for once. It's nice. It's nice to be on the other side of things. And Matthew David, I agree. I think Don FM is an album that does get better upon re-listening. That's why to me it's very much like Kissland, where it it's very jarring at first. Like I remember this. I was dating this one girl. She was a Nicki Minaj stan, and I was talking to her like, yeah, I'm a Weeknd fan. Like I really love, kind of underselling it, right? I'm a fan of the Weeknd, and she was saying like, yeah, I'm not really a fan of like his spaceship music, and I'm like, okay, okay, like that. No, but she's damn, that thing ended pretty badly. Anyways, it was because of that conversation that we broke up really badly. Anyways, yeah, no, so that was the OTP Awards this past week. Last week, I haven't been able to really like promote it after the fact just because I've been super busy. But we're starting to get these snippets out there. We'll get some conversations out there. Please go and check us out. Our Thoughts Podcast, _pod on Twitter, and let's get the conversation going. I want these debates. I love these debates. Which, by the way, like, who, just out of curiosity, who are some people that you guys watch regarding like music discussion that you would want to see us pop up on our stream? Like, we recently got followed by Dylan Jackson TV, DJ TV. He's a big kind of EXO guy. He does like the fake EXO series where he calls out like some of these fake Weeknd fans, which is really funny. Particularly with Kissland, that stuff is really great. And I would love to have him on stream. So go ahead. Let me actually send out a tweet that I was thinking that I was about to send. But yeah, let it tag or bully, cyberbully whoever streamer you want on our stream to pop up on an OTP, and we'll try to make it happen. Social media is incredible. So yeah, I just tweeted from the OTP account. Like, let us know who y'all want, and we'll try to get it popping. What else is there to talk about? Did you do a Karaoke of the Hills remix with your ex? That's good. Yeah. I don't think we got to that phase. Karaoke is like to me is like the final phase of like, okay, it's like the final stage of vulnerability. Karaoke is. No, that's a lie. I would have karaoke with anybody. I would have karaoke with y'all. If y'all want to I've been meaning for the longest time. I've been trying to convince Matt that we should have a karaoke session on here. And granted, maybe we would get killed in terms of copyright, but yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be hella funny to do some karaokeing. Okay. Let's do a little. Okay, I see a comment from LaDonna here. Talk about afterlife, and I know exactly what you're talking about. So, ladies and gentlemen, this weekly Weekend update is brought to you by Timbaland. Let's talk about afterlife. Ladies and gentlemen, the Weeknd's next album, following Dawn FM, the third installment in the Afterlife trilogy, After Hour trilogy. Rumor has it could potentially be this like sci-fi alien techno whatever, and which is not super out of pocket. Like the After Hours stuff obviously brought in like that 80s synth element that we've seen. And then Dawn FM, is there someone else? There's Gasoline. There's the Mike Dean remixes of like Starry Eyes and all that stuff. There's a lot of great kind of techno, sci-fi, alien. Oh, Every Angel is Terrifying, obviously. But when you go into like what the next album could be, there's sort of like a reawakening, I think, after in the fan base, on EXO Twitter, regarding like, okay, what is the next album going to be like? Just because, after all the Idol stuff, which, Matt and I were having a discussion on of kind of your guys' responses to it. Not necessarily you guys that kind of watch the streams live. You guys are pretty cool with us, but we definitely got some pushback from XO regarding our thoughts on the idol thing, which I do want to discuss, but I do want to discuss that when Matt is here, just because he has some thoughts about it. Um, and kind of just like, I think that'll be a whole like state of the podcast moment, because we do want to discuss, we want to have a big old sit down with you guys, and discuss some of the you know, some of our some recent developments in this podcast. So no, with that being said, yeah, back to the album. This could, like Kitchen Boy says here, we've been new this. Matthew David, was that Love Stone? I think she knows. Yeah, guilty. Yeah, you got me. One of my favorite records. I think the first. No, I'm not even gonna say that. But it's one of my favorite records off Future Sex and Love Sounds. But no, this isn't like new territory. This isn't something we don't know. But it's just kind of cool to think. And the reason why people kind of hypothesize that, or like, are thinking that, is because you see there are Mike Dean's been posting like videos and photos of like Terminator and a bunch of different sci-fi stuff, which is really cool, which really interesting. Makes, I don't know, like for me, I think the album, there's like a rumored title, just because he posted like the dawn is done, the horizon is next, or like we can see the horizon, and I like Horizon as an album title. After Hours, Dawn FM, Horizon. I think that just works out perfectly. So no, what do you guys want to talk about with Afterlife? Let me know what you guys want to talk about. If you guys have any points you all want to make, you want me to respond to. But no, I think it's just kind of cool to see like what the next sound could be, similar to like I remember when Dawn FM was being rolled out, and we were kind of like, oh shoot, like this could be the brightest, most up-tempo music that we've gotten, and he ended up kind of subverting that. So I don't know, pretty cool stuff. My Dear Melancholy, the like I think 5-year anniversary of My Dear Melancholy came and went, and he dropped the vinyl. Oh my god, y'all, I have been waiting for this day where the MDM vinyl would come out or be available, and best believe I copped that thing as soon as it was open, because so I currently have After Hours, I have Dawn FM on vinyl, and now I just really want the album that I think I most want from on vinyl now, after My Dear Melancholy, just because I'm just picturing listening to Call Out My Name on vinyl. It's Kissland. Obviously, I put out a whole video about it. It changed a lot of my conceptions of albums. Like, oh, you can make an album and people not like it, or particularly someone can make an album, you not like it, but then you come back to it and you love it, and it's like your favorite thing ever. And I just never had that happen to me except for Kissland. Or until Kissland and Awaken My Love, are the two albums that I think of. But no, yeah, I cleared in 15 minutes. I happened to be in those. I was in that 15-minute window that happened to get that vinyl. So no, I was very happy with that. Okay, here we got some comments. When do you think it's gonna come out? Because I hope it's next year. It's a good question. I obviously don't know, but man, it would be so nice for it to come out like fall of this year, because it seems like they'd been working on it throughout the tour. It seems like they're in the studio, like really deep into working on it. But then also you got but also like you acknowledge that these things take time. So I don't know, like I think next year would be ideal, just because he's gonna have the Idol coming out, what, the summer, or no, yeah, the summer, and then that's gonna go into the fall. So I don't know, there might be a lot of overlap there, and I don't know if he wants to have the show and the album, or maybe you do want the album coming out so you can kind of deflect some of the press from the Idol, because I don't think I don't think it's gonna be HBO. What we expect from an HBO show, like say, like Matthew David was mentioning, Succession, a song, an album that I really, a show that I really enjoy. That has like super sharp dialogue, incredible cinematography. Uh, I don't think The Idol is going to. I don't know. I don't think it's going to live up to that quality. But with that being said, yeah, then this coming year would be interesting. But I would like for it to be next year so we can really like build up to the grand finale of the After Hours trilogy. Yeah, yeah. Let's see here. I got two of the Mightier Melancholy vinyl, so I can hang the second side of the record on my wall. That's dope. That's really dope. I know these are two different Weeknd projects. Matthew David here. But I listened to After Hours and House of Balloons on their anniversaries. I was amazed at how much the time went and how good they were. You know what? There was a tweet by Yasmin Yale, who I follow. I follow on the OTP account. I follow on my account. She's super great. Has amazing thoughts. She's a Michael Jackson and Weeknd stan, anime stan. She's also the girl of my dreams, I think. She had this thought about Michael Jackson. She said, like, it's incredible that when you listen to like Thriller, when you listen to Off the Wall, when you listen to Bad, it's like when you listen to it, it's like you just can't help but scream. Like, it just screams timeless, like the album, although it came out in the 80s and very much fits that world, that era, that time period, it's still, the quality of it is better than many albums of this day, like the mixing of it, all that stuff. So amen, you gotta respect the shooter. My favorite player is Steph Curry, and he's never afraid of shooting. So no, there you go. Also, Maria Isabel, if you're out there, I would like to date you as well. Yeah. Anyways, no. So with that being said, I definitely see that comparison also being for The Weeknd is like, and Bruno Mars, and I think another kind of person that's in that realm, in my opinion, that I just kind of been discovering, is Usher. Speaking of confessions, yeah, like those, like I think as we kind of go on as a society, it's as we get into the 2050s, oh my god, when I'm gonna be 40 years old, 50 years old, shit, we're gonna be listening to House of Balloons, Rolling Stone. We're gonna be listening to After Hours. We're gonna be listening to Blinding Lights, and being like, wow, this is just incredible music. Like Kitchen Boy says here, instead of calling it 80s music, let's call it timeless music. And that's gonna be the same thing we use for a lot of the Weeknd's music. Bruno Mars again, Versace on the Floor, Grenade, what else? Gorilla, Treasure. Like those records are just like, if you put them in a playlist in 40 years and you play it, you wouldn't be able to like nail down what era it came from, which I think is a testament to real like artistry. Like that's tough to like not ride trends, so and also I see D-Mind, he wrote a couple times, what do you think the Weeknd's next album will sound like? Honestly, I try not to. I'm trying to come in with like as open of a expectation as possible, but I will say, I do kind of hope there is like a live instrumentation aspect to it. Obviously, there's the sci-fi, techno, alien elements that we've been getting teased for a while now, but I hope those are kind of intertwined with, say, like the way the guitar and is used in Less Than Zero. It's kind of like the bass of that song. Yeah, damn, y'all are going at it in the chat. Meanwhile, you got that synth run that goes incredible. But I think, yeah, having some sort of live instrumentation. I say that just because I've been meaning. I love Tiny Desk. Matt was here. I was in LA 2 weeks before he was here last weekend, and we were just binging a bunch of Tiny Desks. You got obviously Usher. You got Ty Dolla Sign has a very, very, very good one, amazing one. Too Short, Daniel Caesar, incredible Tiny Desk sessions, and no, I would love to see the Weeknd in that sort of realm, in that sonic landscape. I think that's a phrase I'm gonna use to sound smart. But yeah, no. So there you go. I think that's a decent weekly Weekend update. Let's get into what I want to get to. Oh, Tyler, the Tyler Deluxe. I'm kind of, I do want to get to this on the later end of the stream. We're going to go ahead and rank every single one of Bruno Mars's songs, which is going to take a lot shorter than the weekend ranking session because that took forever. Because there was a lot more records. So no. But with that being said, Tyler the Creator's Call Me If You Get Lost, the estate sale is incredible. I'm pulling it up right now, but in my opinion, this is one of my favorite deluxes ever. This is a concept that was obviously invented by LeBron James, if you guys remember, during the rollout for 2 Chainz's album. I forget what it was even called. Like LeBron was sitting there and he was like, you know what, y'all, like check this out. What we're gonna do? We're gonna drop the album. We're gonna drop the album and then we're gonna drop the album and then we're gonna let it pass by and then oh shit, 3 weeks later, we got more for you. We're gonna drop more another album, the Deluxe. And the dude was like writing it down on the whiteboard, like, wait, Deluxe, a couple more songs. So shout out to LeBron for inventing the concept of deluxe albums. So yeah, that being said, Call Me If You Get Lost, the estate sale. We got 8 new records, which is like, come on now, like 8 new records, and they also, fit. They're super. They definitely fit into the world of Call Me If You Get Lost and that kind of like bright, sunny, like just very groovy aesthetic that album has. But also I feel like I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like the new records had like a sense of melancholy to them that isn't necessarily on a lot of the other records. I think of like Corso, I think of Hot Wind Blows, Lumberjack. Those songs are very energetic. Rise, these songs kind of lean more towards like a sweet I Thought You Wanted to Dance, Massa. Those songs where there's kind of like a swaying aspect as opposed to like a bop. I don't know if that makes sense, but like Dogtooth, Heaven to Me, I think is one of his most interesting records. I think it was produced by Kanye, I think. He's describing like kind of like what is heaven to him. It's him chasing his son, open, in the open sun, with his wife, his baby mama, and just kind of like a simple life, a simple kind of moment in time. That's what heaven is to him, which I think was really beautiful. I love. It was my 2 things about the Deluxe was that it was a lot more melancholic and also a lot more introspective than a lot of the other records, on the regular album. I think of one of probably my favorite record off the estate sale is Sorry Not Sorry, because it is so introspective. He discusses a lot of different stuff, like I'm sorry to all the girls that all the girls I broke up with, all the guys I hid. I'm sorry to all the people that are interested in my life, but I don't necessarily want you to know about that stuff, so I'm sorry that I'm not as open as you'd like me to be. I'm sorry that to my mom that I don't get to see you enough. I'm sorry to you know, all these different people. I'm sorry to my one of my favorite bars. Let me try to find it. What was it? I'm sorry to my ancestors. I know I gotta fight. But my this ice is shining more than a black man's plight. You know, like that shit is so. And the flow he finds on that one part is so good. What was it? Yeah, I'm sorry to my ancestors. I know I'm supposed to fight, but this ice shining brighter than a black man's plight. I'm gonna make it right. In the meantime, I'll get some advice while these blood diamonds getting cleaned off. Like that's just so, I don't know. It's just that's Tyler in a nutshell. Like it's kind of real, but also kind of funny, and just so, but also like just super well done. You know, what is Jose saying? Tyler a munch. Hey man, hey man. Tyler was kind of spitting. She can ride my face. Don't need nothing in return. I don't know, man. He was kind of spitting. He was kind of spitting, literally. But no, man. So long story short. Yeah, here. I love what he says here. I'm not Superman, but I could try. I'm sorry, I'm pretentious. Sorry that the talent, knowledge, passion isn't missing. Uh, you know, like stuff like that, where you kind of you really get like a look into Tyler. Hold on, there's another part I do want to mention. One last one. Uh, yeah, so it was that part I was talking about where he was like, I don't want to give you all of my life. He says the lines are, uh, sorry if you got to dig for info I don't want to give, so you stalk makeup fibs just to talk about my private life because you're weird. Met that girl this year, but that's none of your biz. I give enough with my art. Know your place. My personal space, y'all don't need to be apart. Like that is beautifully said, and I think that's kind of a lot of that's a lot of like the sentiment that a lot of celebrities have is like, yeah, like I'm a celebrity, but that doesn't entitle you to like my whole life, knowing my entire life. So, you know, Tyler was spitting on that part for sure, and for the rest of the record. So no, Jose, peace, good to see you. Hope you can watch this back. But yeah, anyways, sorry not sorry, and also like going into the music video was it was so cool, man, because you get to see. And I'm kind of surprised that the Weeknd hasn't done this already. It's like you get to see all the different eras, like you know, lined up, and you see Tyler like kind of shirtless, kind of bare, you know, stripped back. I think is that what that's supposed to say, is like the authentic Tyler, and you kind of see him like killing off each of his eras like one by one. You see Wolf, you see. I don't know if you saw. I saw Igor, but Matt tells me that there's Igor there. You saw Goblin. You saw, you know, all the eras of Tyler. Um, I think I mentioned Wolf already, but yeah, pretty cool. And then obviously Tyler Baudelaire, and it ends with him killing Tyler, you know, beating the shit out of him, which I thought was very, you know, again, one of those like very symbolic things, very representative, all that stuff. And just a really cool concept. Again, I'm kind of surprised that the Weeknd hadn't done something like that. You know, it was like just dress up as all the different eras and do something with that. Um, but yeah, in conclusion, I think Matthew David here. I think Matthew David here. Snow Child music video. Yeah, that's true. But it's different when you see it in a live action setting. I think it's a lot more like how I describe it. I think because I'm a Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars, and there's always, you know, they do a lot of their stuff animated. They do a lot of their stuff live action. You know, like they have the Clone Wars. They also have obviously the movies and Mandalorian, all that stuff. And how I always say it is like animated stuff. You're able to look. It's able to look incredible and fully realized, and as big and grand as you'd want it to be, just because it's, you know, it's cheaper to have to animate things that just look like animation versus animation that's supposed to look real, you know. And that's when you get weird moments like Luke Skywalker's face kind of being like imposed onto a different guy's face, or like Leia or whatever with that. So with that being said, live action stuff is just like a lot more realized, just, a lot more like it hits you different. So no, I respect the Snow Child music video, but I think I would just like to see that happen, like, for real. But yeah, Matthew David here, I, I I think is like the perfect thought to end on. Um, Listening to the Call Me If You Get Lost Deluxe, I fully realize that Tyler is the dude at the moment, and I agree, man. I agree. Tyler is in fact. Uh, I'm trying to figure out how I want to say this. When it comes to being like a rap artist, there's Kendrick Lamar, who will always be one of the best to ever do it. You got Drake, who is definitely like the most successful. I think is fair to say. Like, I again, I don't love a lot of what he's done recently, but you can't deny he's like the most successful, and I think um, that's why a lot of people have him as their number one. Or that's why a lot of the people that do have him as number one have him as number one, is that he's successful, he's relatable, he puts out what you'd call hits. But if you're talking about like the artistry of it all, like what they're able to do, you're talking about the complete package of rapping, singing, in within a rap song, producing, lyricism, the rollout, all that stuff, the persona, the pure passion of hip hop. I think Tyler is that dude. Tyler is, for me, the best, the most complete hip hop artist out there. Yeah, and I would say it's him, it's Kendrick, J. Cole. J. Cole is cool, and I appreciate a lot of what he's done with like the Dreamville Fest, which, what, maybe I want to save that for next week with Matt. But I don't know. I think Tyler just does it at such a different quality, and does it a lot more like potently. Whereas like say the off season, like I think it's a great album. It's really good, but I don't think it like hit me the way say Call Me If You Get Lost did, and like the Deluxe did. And a lot of these records are on the Deluxe are my favorite songs on the whole album. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. He's been on a great run of albums. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Sorry Not Sorry is probably my favorite record off the Deluxe, followed by Wharf Talk and Dogtooth. Those are my top three. Maybe on the whole album. I mean, I would have to throw Sweet I Thought You Wanted to Dance, and what's it called? And What's Your Name? What's Your Name? Are probably that's probably my top five right there. But yeah, guys, if that's kind of it, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and let me check my doc real quick. Is there anything else I wanted to go over? Okay, you know what? Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we're gonna do some we've done with a different artist, but I think it's gonna be a really fun conversation. Is I'm gonna go ahead and rank every single one of Bruno Mars's records, from start to finish, from doo-wops to Silk Sonic. We are counting Silk Sonic as an album for Bruno. We're gonna exclude features. We're gonna exclude Lucy's, all that stuff. So It Will Rain off of the Twilight soundtrack will not be on this list, even though I think it would be. It would. I don't even know what to say, because I always say like, it would be top 20, and then I actually rank it, and it falls down a little shorter. But no, we're gonna go ahead and rank every single one of Bruno Mars's records, and we'll see how it goes, y'all. Let's see. How am I gonna do this? Okay. Chip fan. Okay. So kind of a ratchet setup, but we're rolling with it. Let me know if you guys can see this. First of all, let me know if you guys can like actually read it. Let me Okay. I'm going to get it super close, and I think that's what we're going to be on. So on the right, as you can see here, is going to be his discography. I will be scrolling through it so that way we can, have it open for do our due diligence. And then on the left is the official ranking. And obviously this is again a ratchet setup, but I'll make it a nice little post for us to enjoy later on. Yeah, this will probably be, I have listened to Bruno's discography kind of like a lot recently. Again, like it's a lot shorter, a lot more condensed. It's like 4 albums, 10 records each. So it's a lot more, that's very interesting argument, I think, for Bruno Mars. Is like his albums are a lot more concise, and as a result his discography is a lot more concise than The Weeknd. So yeah, that's an argument that I think I'll save for another day. With that being said, let's start off with doo-wops and hooligans. 2010. Hold on. Let me go ahead and plug real quick. Let me know what you guys got as your number one Bruno Mars record. What you predict mine would be. I always love hearing what you guys... Kitchen Boy nailed what my number one Weeknd song was. But let me know what you guys got as your number one Bruno Mars record while I go ahead and plug our Bruno Mars deep dive. In case you guys don't know, we already did kind of like a deep dive on Bruno Mars' every single one of his albums and his journey to where we are now with Silk Sonic. And I just left it in the chat for y'all to enjoy after this video. Or I don't know, maybe you wanted to click off this video. I don't know what kind of dumbassery that this is gonna end up being, but yeah, let's get started. Doo-wops and hooligans, starting off with Grenade. Grenade is a toughie because starting off with a very crazy... Okay. So for me, doo-wops is going to be... I'm going to start it off at number 6. Ooh. I'm going to start it off at number 7. 8 is the number I'm going to settle on. Grenade, number 8. That's what we're going with. Because I was just saying, Just the Way You Are it's got to be top 5, It's the hallmark record of Bruno Mars. I think if you had to pick one, like his definitive song, it would maybe be Just the Way You Are, because it captures that romantic side of him. And it's obviously like his first hit single. And it's also a perfect record. Like when you listen to it, yeah, it's corny, yeah, it's cheesy, but like that's the point, is that it's supposed to be like... Here, you know what? Let me get on my shit real quick. Yo, it is okay to be a simp, y'all. That is part of the human experience, is desiring and then and allowing someone else to be desired. That's part of love. That's part of life. And that's a big reason why Just the Way You Are is as potent as it is because it is that feeling of desire and love and affection and admiration for someone, just the way they are. And because of that, we're gonna give it... I'm gonna make it number 3 for now, because I honestly don't know what I have as number 1. The Weeknd I knew what I was gonna pick as number 1, just because it's fucking... For me, it's like definitively After Hours, but Just the Way You Are, I'm gonna leave at number 3 for now. And honestly, I could see it ending up being number one, depending on how the rest of this goes. Ooh, Grenade number 8. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to that. But anyways, what is next on the agenda, ladies and gentlemen? We are ranking Our First Time on the all-time list here. And you know what? I don't know if y'all really if you guys remember this song at all. It's like his reggae record. And I really love this one. But like in the grand scheme of things, will it end up in like the top 20? I don't know. But for now, cause one thing, if you guys watched our weekend ranking every weekend record, it is very much like I say it's one spot and then I start moving everything around. I want to try to avoid that just so that way I'm, when I put it down, it's like locked in. But, for the most part, you know what? I'm going to make it Our First Time. Since it is a sexy song, I will make it the legal age of consent. Our First Time will be number 21. Yeah. I feel that. Solo, what's up, man? I'm glad you enjoy this podcast. Anyways, Runaway Baby. How can you not give this? Is definitely in the top 10. It's definitely in the top 10, but I think for me, it's gonna go in the higher end of it because it's one of his. Yeah, you know what? Number 5, Runaway Baby. I mean, looky here, yeah, what do we have? Another pretty thing. Yeah, no. Number 5. The Lazy Song. Honestly, I don't love this song. I know it's like one of his most popular records. And, it's just... I think part of it, this album is going to be really hard for me to rank because I'm just there's a lot of trauma associated with this album because it reminds me of my middle school days, and middle school was just like, imagine Euphoria, but middle schoolers. That's kind of what middle school was for me. So I'm like trying to like detach myself from all that. With that being said, the Lazy Song, I will go ahead and make that, because I can't take away from its greatness. So I'm going to go ahead and give that, let's go ahead and lock it in number 15, The Lazy Song. Because to be honest, for me, Bruno Mars, I think some of the discussions I've had about Bruno is like, you can't deny his discography relies a lot on like undeniability, but because of that, there are some songs that just play all the time and that you get sick of, and The Lazy Song is that for me. I definitely that's all I'm gonna say about that. Marry You, I think will go right above Lazy Song. It's gonna be, as of right now, I'm gonna put it number 13 because it's just like, when you can make a song that is like the definitive whatever song of like the definitive song of something, that says a lot. And I think Marry You is like the definitive pop marriage song. Okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna move around stuff a lot, but the Lazy Song, I'm gonna move down to number 18. But yeah, Marry You, I think, is a really great song. When he plays it live, it's cool too because he has like the wedding bells doom, 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 playing like kind of interlaced in it. So I'm going to go ahead and give The Lazy Song, or Marry You, number 13. I really enjoy that song. Talking to the Moon. It's one of his ballads, his sadder songs. But to me, it's not his favorite. It's not my favorite, like, sad song. So I'm going to go... I like it better than The Lazy Song. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Talking to the Moon. Damn, y'all. Am I gonna move the lazy song even lower? I think that's what I'm about to do. Yeah, fuck the lazy song, to be honest. Fuck the lazy song. We'll give that number 24. See, this is where that trauma's coming in. Nah, lazy song number 24. I think that's a fair rank. Liquor Store Blues. Again, another reggae record featuring, I think it's Bob Marley's son. I think it's Bob Marley's son, Damian Marley. And I think this is a gem. I definitely like this more than the lazy song. So I'm going to give this Liquor Store Blues number 22. Cesco's False Alarm. What did I say about False Alarm? Remind me if you could, please, Chip fan. Okay. What else we got here? Count on Me. Count on Me. This is another one of those songs, y'all. This is another one of them ones that when I see the words "Count on Me," I think of all my middle school classmates just walking around with their annoying little ukuleles, just singing this song, being cool little cliques, and me being outside of it and being like, oh, that's so cool that you guys can play the uke and play "Count on Me." That's really great. God, I'm such a salty little man. Count on Me. You know what? I'm gonna give Count on Me a little bit of a leg up on the lazy song. Count on Me will be number 24, and the lazy song continues to dwindle down the list. So now it is at 27. The Other Side, CeeLo Green, B.O.B. Look, this is a great record too. I enjoy CeeLo Green. I enjoy B.O.B. and Bruno Mars. Obviously, Nothing on You isn't going to be on here because I'm not ranking features. But I think I'm going to lock that in, number 33. Just because I'm like preparing myself for what is going to happen. For what is about to happen with like Unorthodox Jukebox, all that stuff. The lazy song is probably gonna move up, to be honest. To maybe, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But so that does it for the doo-wops and hooligans. Let's go into the Just the Way You Are remixes now. Let's go into Unorthodox Jukebox. Now this is, I believe, Maya's favorite Bruno Mars album, and it has a lot of my favorite records from Bruno. So I'm excited. Young Girls, kind of a creepy song if you listen to the lyrics, but it's a good song. It's a great record. Oh, okay, I see. So you despise False Alarm, and I just kind of dislike Lazy. Okay, I see where you're going with that. Young Girls, you know what? I like Young Girls more than Marry You. No. Let me give Young Girls number 18. I can't help but feel like that's appropriate. The legal age of adulting is 18. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think there's no what better to do than to give Young Girls that ranking. Locked Out of Heaven. Oh, it's definitely shit. Here we go, y'all. Okay. I'm gonna bump Just the Way You Are down to number 4. I said I wasn't gonna do this, man, but fuck it. We're doing it. And number 3, the number 3 song of Bruno Mars, in my opinion, is Locked Out of Heaven. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. Am I happy with that decision? Because Locked Out of Heaven is so good. Damn, yeah. If anything, I think Runaway Baby will get knocked out of the top 5. And we're going to bump it down to number 7. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Now, Treasure. Yo, I think this is, ladies and gentlemen, I think we found our number 1. I think we found our number 1, guys. Because I'm trying to see, is there anything that's going to bite me in the ass later on? Because to me, Treasure is like, it's timeless. It's the one to me. It's the one. So I think, you know what? We're doing it. Treasure is number 1. Treasure is, in fact, to me, the treasure of his discography. And I hate that I said that. Moonshine. Moonshine, I think, is an underrated gem. It's got probably like the least amount of streams besides Show Me. Moneymaker Smile. You know what? I'm gonna put that right under. I think we're gonna put that right under Count on Me. Number 25. Moonshine. And then here we go. When I Was Your Man. When I Was Your Man is in fact the top 5 record. That will be number 5. When I Was Your Man. I hope he buys you flowers. I hope he holds your hand. Jesus. That song, I still listen to that record and it still gets me sad. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Natalie, you know what? To me, it's one of his more, Bruno Mars fans are crazy. Because, like, if you say, like, even one remotely negative thing, it's like, oh, what are you talking about? It's all perfect. It's all perfect. But if you're talking about his scale of perfection, I think Natalie is, like, one of the more expendable records on there. So I'm going to go... That's going to go a little low. I think that's going to go lower than Lazy Song for sure. So Natalie, even though I like that record, you know. No. Show Me is going to go right above Lazy Song. And then it's going to go... Yeah. Show Me Again is another one of his reggae records, in case you guys don't know. And I really love his reggae record. So that I think is gonna be where maybe some people differ. And rumor has it that the next Bruno Mars album will take place in that reggae, tropical, potentially dance hall-ish type vibe. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm super down to see like what does that look like. You know, he's tackled a bunch of different genres: Motown, soul, the jukebox era. We're on unorthodox jukebox, so you know, I'm excited to see what it's all about. Anyways, we're on Moneymaker Smile. You know what? Moneymaker Smile will in fact go number 28. And then Natalie is going to take... Okay, we're going to move a couple things up. Show Me is going to be number 23 for now. And then Moneymakers... what was it? Natalie? All right, we're going to do some finagling here, if you guys don't mind. This is exactly what I said I wasn't going to do, but here I am. Okay, so here is how Unorthodox Jukebox shook out. All right, let's go through this. All right. So how Unorthodox Jukebox shook out was Treasure is in fact my number one record from Bruno Mars at this point. For now. Locked Out of Heaven number 3. When I Was Your Man number 5. And then we got Young Girls number 18. I feel like that that just makes sense. Um, Show Me number 23. Again, I love the reggae records, and I think having Liquor Store Blues, Our First Time, and Show Me, I think that's kind of solid. I didn't even mean for that to happen. Uh, Count on Me number, or no, that's not Unorthodox. If I Knew, if in case you guys don't know, If I Knew is like his like Sam Cooke classic, um 60s 50s type record. If you guys listen to one of my favorite Sam Cooke songs, Cupid, it's so simple, so beautiful. If I Knew is basically he's talking about, if I knew that this girl existed, I wouldn't have done all the bullshit, all the city boy things that I've done. So no, I think that's a very beautiful sentiment, and which is why it ranks number 25. And then Moonshine number 26, Natalie, Moneymaker, Smile kind of make up the lower end of the list. Um, but yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting there. Again, this is gonna be a lot shorter than the Weekend one, just because there's not as many records. Okay, 24K Magic. This is probably my second favorite album besides Silk Sonic, from Bruno, just because I love that 90s New Jack Swing, Bobby Brown type vibe. So, no. That being said, 24K Magic, the Titty Alert record. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's definitely top 10. Is it better than Grenade? Runaway Baby. You know what? Yeah. It's gonna be right above 24 or Runaway Baby. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna knock everything down a peg. So, because I'm making room for my Silk Sonic records. That's one thing I'm gonna do. Versace on the Floor. Yo, Chip fan calling out the other 5 people in the chat right now. Y'all are fake OTP fans. That's funny. You know what? Actually, I just remembered Versace on the Floor is a thing. So that will be number 7. 24K Magic will be. It's definitely a top 10 record to me. So I'm gonna put that as such. 24K Magic will in fact be the number 10 record. Chunky. This song is so good. So good. But I'm going to put it right below Young Girls. And then I think Perm. You gotta activate your sexy. Yeah, come on now. Perm. It's like that Uptown Funk vibe. You know? Yeah, you know what? But you know what? I'm gonna put it below the Lazy Song, which I know is saying a lot considering how much I've shitted on the Lazy Song. But Perm's a good record. All of these are good records, but I'm just prepping for some of the later entries. Like That's What I Like, and That's What I Like definitely belongs somewhere fairly high. You know what? That's What I Like is going to go right above. It's going to be a top 20 record in the discography. Yeah. Oh shit, Curry, you've been sick recently. I've been sleeping and waking up midway. Damn, that sucks. Hope you feel better. And I'm glad that I could kind of accompany you here. I mean, I'm sure, I don't know about y'all, but like, how do y'all watch streams? Because to me, for me personally, like, even the streamers I love, I will kind of like watch them in the background. And with that being said, I'm very happy to be background noise for y'all. So I don't mind being kind of in the background for y'all. Anyways, just as long as you participate every now and then, whatever. It is what it is. So like I said, Versace on the Floor is in fact going to be number 7 for me. Calling on My Lovelies. Calling on My Lovelies is gonna go right. No, because Silk Sonic is still gonna be a thing. Calling on My Lovelies will go right above. So I'm gonna move Marry You to 15. And ladies and gentlemen, Calling on My Lovelies will be lucky number 13. And I love Calling on My Lovelies. Oh my god. Finesse. Oh shit, I just realized I don't have that much space for some of these Silk Sonic records that I like. Oh shit. Okay. So we're gonna move some of these so some of these songs might get moved down a peg. But we're gonna go number 21. Oh wait, I skipped Straight Up and Down. Straight Up and Down is a nice little ditty. It's a nice love song. You know what? I think it's Straight Up and Down is gonna go right below Count on Me. Yeah. No. Yeah. I like that. And then so we had Calling on My Lovelies and then Finesse. Finesse is the one that I wanted to move everything for because I love that record. Again, it's that New Jack Swing bop vibe thing. The live version of Calling on My Love. Yes. No, I agree. I love when he has the phone out and he's like, trying to listen to the voicemail, all that stuff. Like that stuff, that's what artistry, that to me is cinema. That's my version of cinema. That's artistry right there. And Too Good to Say Goodbye is such a good song. Might be, besides When I Was Your Man, might be my favorite ballad. Like of like his ballady type, super simpy love songs, I think will be that one. And that's going to go, because of that, that's going to go right above Talking to the Moon. Yeah, Too Good to Say Goodbye, number 17. Locking that in. And ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the end. Not 3 hours later like the Weeknd one, my god. Okay. the Silk Sonic intro. It's got to go a little bit lower just because it's not an actual record. So I think we're going to go Silk Sonic intro is unfortunately the lowest ranked song. That's going to be a little weird, but Leave the Door Open. See, I left a couple spots open at the top here because I knew that some of these records are going to be, up there. And yeah, I think that I made a smart move there because Leave the Door Open to me is going to be number 2. No. Yeah, number 2 on the list. Leave the Door Open. I mean, come on now. Y'all remember the moment that Leave the Door Open created. Like seeing Bruno in that music video, like within the context of a band, not being the frontman and singing along and he hits that crazy note on Leave the Door Open. Incredible. So no. My number 2 Bruno Mars song, Leave the Door Open. Now this is where things start to get interesting because, you know, I love a lot of these songs, man. Yeah, shout out to Sonic. You know, one of the OGs for sure. um. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, "Fly as Me." "Fly as Me" will be number 14 because I love the bop that he had. Or no, 16, because although I love that record, and I think Matt said it's maybe his favorite song off Silk Sonic. That song is more highlighting Anderson .Paak, I feel like, whereas Bruno, he kind of plays the supporting role and like has his back in that sense on that record. So I'm gonna, because of that, it's not like one of Bruno Mars's best records, but it is one of Silk Sonic's best records. So semantics and all that stuff, but that's gonna help me in ranking some of these songs, because then you get into the next song, which is "After Last Night," and that song is beautiful. It's beautiful. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that number 11. Yeah. Okay, "After Last Night," number 11, and then we go into "Smoking Out the Window," and I knew exactly what I was doing with this one. "Smoking Out the Window" is Bruno Mars's fourth best record. I mean, come on now. What was it? The almost got me in a fight with the X-Men and the UFC. Just so many memorable fucking lines, so many memorable moments. And a lot of that is because of Bruno Mars, so damn. Okay, y'all, I think we're gonna move everything down a peg because I can't in good conscience have "Put on a Smile" not be in the top 10 at least. So we are going to move everything down because I want "Put on a Smile" to be right next to "When I Was You." Woo! Fire alarm. Yo, the house is burning from that take. "Put on a Smile." Here, let me let me check up on that real quick. Okay. All right, so that must have been a really hot take for the fire alarm to go off. Oh shit. That is so funny. Okay, anyways. Whew. That like woke me up. My hot take: "Smoking Out the Window" is the best song from An Evening with Silk Sonic. That's true. You know what? I do agree with that. And I am considering whether I should switch "Leave the Door Open" and "Smoking Out the Window." I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. See, this is why I have y'all here with me. So I have another person to bounce off of, because I usually do these when Matt isn't here. So I like having y'all with me to kind of discuss. So yeah, "Treasure" number 1, "Smoking Out the Window" number 2, "Locked Out of Heaven" number 3, "Leave the Door Open" number 4, and "Just the Way You Are" number 5. I like the way that looks. With "Put on a Smile" number 7. Okay. Now where are we? "Put on a Smile" into 777. Let's roll. Look, that's a great record, but again, And you know what I love about that song is it captures like who I think is one of Bruno Mars's biggest inspirations is James Brown. Um, so I'm definitely, I like this record a lot. But where does it rank is my question. And I love the live version that happened in the Grammys. That version was really cool. Talking to the Moon, I think I'm in that 1920 area right now. You know what? Yeah, number 20, 777. Let's go. Let's roll. What else? What else we got? Skate to me, baby. Okay, these last three records here, I kind of know where I want to place them. So I'm going to go ahead. It's just a matter of like what order do I want to put them in. This is the game here. So Skate is such a perfect record. But then you get into Blast Off, Love Strain, like those are more my vibe, which is like the slow jams, the ballads, you know. So that's where the game is. Like what hmm. You know what? I think part of what will affect the ranking is like Love Strain is in fact is a cover, but also it's like that's cool because like if you take a cover and you make it as good as the original, then that should say something about your artistry. And I watched that Love Strain performance of that live performance of Love Strain might be the one I watched the most. Decisions, y'all, decisions. Skate could be a Jackson 5 song. I love that. That's a great take. I agree. I agree. I took a little something to get here. Yay, yay. Yeah, man. Okay. So I want Love Strain pretty high. Love Strain is going to be number 13. Blast Off number 15. Okay, yeah. Skate is going to be slightly higher. Slightly higher than everything than all of those three, I think, because it is a perfect song. It's a perfect record. So it's going to go I think right after Calling All My Lovelies as the number 15th song. So okay. I like where we're at. Okay, so let's recap and call it a day, shall we? So the Bruno Mars ranked official ranking by Cesco of the OTP podcast. We got number one. The number one record of Bruno Mars, according to me, is Treasure. Then followed by Smoking Out the Window, Locked Out of Heaven, Leave the Door Open, number 4, Just the Way You Are, number 5, When I Was Your Man, number 6, and then we got Put on a Smile, Versace on the Floor, Runaway Baby, and Grenade to round out the top 10. I like that. And right outside the top 10, 24K Magic. I like that. After Last Night, Love Strain. I think that sounds right to me. Followed by Calling All My Lovelies. To me, if I could have Anderson .Paak on a like a Bruno Mars solo record, it would probably be Calling All My Lovelies. Then you got Skate, Blast Off, number 16. Marry You, number 17. So that just falls into the top 20. Followed by Fly As Me, Too Good to Say Goodbye, Talking to the Moon, 777, Young Girls, Chunky. Okay. And then you guys are going to be able to, I think as we go on, I don't think I need to go over everything, single one. But I will. That's What I Like, number 24. Finesse, number 25. Our First Time, number 26. Liquor Store Blues. Again, I love the reggae record, so, but like I mentioned, like they were in the 20 area, and then as things were getting bumped down, they are now 27, 28, 29. Straight up and down. And then you get If I Knew, which is again, like I love this song, but it's 31, and that looks bad when you only got 38 songs, but I love this song. So, and then you get Moonshine, motherfucking lazy song number 33. I think, I'm fine with that. I will take whatever flack I get for that song being ranked so low. I'm sure Matt has some thoughts on that song being so low, but y'all gotta back me up on that. Perm, Natalie, Moneymaker Smile, The Other Side, and then the worst song off Bruno Mars' discography is the intro, Silk Sonic intro. So no, I think just because it's an intro, it's the least kind of comprehensive song. Like, it's not really a song, it's just kind of, bringing us into the evening with Silk Sonic. So no, I think that sounds about right. And with that being said, that is the ranking of every single Bruno Mars song. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will have a nice little thing up for you guys. We'll definitely go over it with Matt when he's here, if he's here next week. Because this has been My Thoughts podcast for today. So no, let's see. Is there anything I want to discuss with you guys? No, man. I mean, I think, we started on time, so we don't have to end super late. No, so I guess we can just go into what's in my rotation. I got a good one for y'all. I got some great recs. So, starting off, if you guys are into, there's an album that dropped recently that is so fucking incredible. What was it? It's Matt and I, we were listening to it in LA, and that shit was so funny. It was Scaring the Hoes, JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown. There's some songs on there that are just insane. Jack Harlow Combo Meal. Scaring the Hoes, like the titular song is like they sample the sound of some cheeks getting clapped. There's a Red Veil song on there. Recurring OurThoughts Award up and coming artist nominee. Red Veil gets a song on there. It's really good. Kingdom Hearts Key. Go check that up. If you're in your rap bag, go ahead and look that up. If you're into some underground rap, go ahead check out Super Tecmo Bo, Boldy James, Super Nice, and another kind of hip hop rap. This is probably, if you guys want to listen to a rap album that is, if I could recommend a rap album to you guys, this is, I think, how I'll phrase it. Please, I implore you. Besides the Call Me If You Get Lost estate sale, please go check out The Great Escape, Larry June, produced by The Alchemist. Go listen to it while the sun is setting, while you're sitting on a field. Curry is sick, so I don't know if you want to go outside right now, or you can, but when you can, go ahead and just let's put this album on, look at the sunset, go watch the wind blow, go watch some blades of grass move, just appreciate life to The Great Escape, Larry June. And then now, if I want to get to some of my absolute perfect album recs for R&B, y'all, my absolute favorite album at this moment is an album I just discovered by Yasmin Yale, my Twitter love, my Twitter crush, I'll put it like that. She recommended this album called Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. Maxwell is one of the most prominent 90s R&B artists, I think, but I've really only started getting into him because of this album, because of this rec. And when I tell you this album is beautiful, it really is. Has some of that jazzy upper class, super smooth, suave, saxophone, ritzy vibe. I think that I really enjoy off, say like 2020 Experience, all that stuff. But yeah, there are songs on here. Ascension, I think, is like the big song that everyone kind of or like is the most popular one. But go check out wherever, whatever. I'm gonna say that again. Wherever, no, sorry. Whenever, wherever, whatever. It's a one of the ballady records off that song, but I love it so much. Lonely's the only company, and Till the Cops Come Knockin'. A couple other songs I would recommend you guys to go check out. But really, go check out the rest of the album because it's just one of the fuller, most most satisfying listens I've had recently in a while. So no, Maxwell's Urban Hang Suite. Sorry, I'm having trouble speaking at this point. And then another album I implore you to go check out is Ego Death, The Internet. I was put on this album by Matt. It is, kind of like an R&B, super 2015 R&B, pop, funk, some jazz vibes. If you guys don't know, this was actually the band that Steve Lacy was a part of. And he has like guitar solos. He has little, cameos here and there. It's really cool to see. It's kind of like I believe one of the members was part of Odd Future and then started The Internet. So go check out Ego Death, The Internet. And then let's see, I got a couple more recs for you guys. I've been listening to a lot of music. Luther Vandross, The Night I Fell in Love. Now this album is so good because Luther Vandross, obviously one of the greatest voices to ever grace, the world. But there's a song that I found from another person called If Only for One Night that I really love. I've probably bugged you guys enough about the song. But I didn't know that this album had his version of that song. And and also there's a song called Creepin', all you Weeknd fans, I'm sure you guys, but it's not the same Creepin'. But no, there's just a lot of great records on this song. My Sensitivity, Till My Baby Comes Home. If you guys are into that oldie style, those records, some classics, some goldies, go check that out. And then my last rec is Food for the Soul. I think that's gonna be my new catchphrase to describe certain albums. Is this next album I'm about to recommend is Food for the Soul. And Curry, you're sick. I would recommend checking out this album or just having it in the background because it's a nice acoustic album to just slow down to, which is funny because he has a song called Slow Down and it's really good. Mac Ayres put out a new album called Comfortable Enough, and there are some ballads on here that are so beautiful. It's mainly like a lo-fi acoustic vibe. Songs like Cuts Heal in Time, the titular song, Comfortable Enough, and the song that I absolutely need you all to check out, sweeping ballad, heartfelt lyrics, beautiful love song, I'll Be Your Home Now, is such a good song, and I implore you guys to check that out. Again, Comfortable Enough, Food for the Soul, and just gives you that love and feeling. Do you Let me go ahead and take a picture of this chat real quick, just for everyone to. Do you think Matt would flick his tongue for SZA? I'm gonna say it right here. I guarantee you he would. But I do like Matthew David here. He mentions a better question is, does SZA like the way Matt flicks his tongue or not? I will say I don't think I have never seen Matt flick his tongue, but we'll come back to that next stream. You know what? When we come on next stream, you all have to promise me you will just start off spamming Matt flick your tongue, Matt flick your tongue. Please don't clip that. Oh my god, please don't clip that and send that to Matt. Even though I probably just cursed it all. But no, please, let's start off on next stream on a good note when Mac comes in. And let's see. Let's try to figure out whether SZA would like the way he flicks his tongue. With that being said, y'all, this has been another episode of My Thoughts podcast. I really tried getting one of my homegirls on here, who I've literally been friends like forever, and she'd be so amazing on this podcast. But you know, things didn't work out. That would be, but that's gonna be a really fun podcast. But if we can ever get that going, yeah. Again, Curry, I know you're sick. Hope you feel well. If you're not home, get home safe. And I hope y'all have a great week. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And talk to you guys next week. Peace. Okay, now bye for real. Also, yeah, hit up any streamers that y'all would want on the podcast. And then also tell Yasmin Yale that I love her. And then, but yeah, okay, take care. I think that's it for me. For real now. Bye. Also Maria Isabel too. I can't forget my girl. Bro, okay, hold on. Sorry. Yes, John Denton would be so sick on this podcast. Yo, I would love to talk to John Denton. Um, I will say there would probably be a part of me that would be kind of starstruck, like, oh shit, like I'm talking to him. But I love his vibe. I love everything about him. He kind of goes into everything with the same mindset as me. Um, like in terms of like wanting to like it. So I would absolutely love to have John Denton on here. And you know what, Chip fan? You didn't need to know that, but you do now. Eat that. Yeah. All right. I don't want eat that to be the last words of this stream. You know what? I'll say, stay cool, my babies.